doing, Miss Karen? Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm not sure who I was just speaking to, but I thought this was a whole dialogue. This is titled For Me. What are we talking about first? Are we talking about Joyner Lucas, and then we're going into Jesse Wu? Which order would you guys prefer?
Man, whichever order you prefer from the that's written.
To start off with the Nipsey. That's where I want to start.
I'm sorry, which one did you say?
I want you to start off with the Nipsey.
What about the Nipsey? What's the issue with Nipsey?
So this is my thing. And I'm gonna tell you exactly who I am as I'm telling you the issue. My issue with you is right. And I've been telling people for a long time, you seem like a fraud to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I understand it was a beautiful thing you put together for Nip, right? But also, at no point during that whole memorial did you stand up for the fact that there were people involved with Nipsey's career. You didn't stand up for the fact that certain people played a part in Nipsey's career, but you put yourself on a pedestal and you stood on that motherfucker. But the whole time, Big U broke his fucking back to make Nipsey to what he was and was still struggling every day to do it. But you helped X him out of that. And then I was there for the marathon. I don't remember you there for the marathon, Karen. I never seen you during the marathon. I seen you come right before victory lap. So that's my thing. It was a lot of lies and a lot of bullshit. The way that it was said, how Gang met him, that was cap. How it said Snoop met him, that was fucking cap. I was there from day one, working with Big U as an assistant, and you weren't there.
Okay.
I don't recall you ever being there to the end. So my thing is to you, at what point were you ever going to stand up and say, I helped them put this together, but there's people who actually played a part in this man's career that I'm leaving out of the obituary, that I'm not even allowing to be fucking mentioned at no goddamn point. And for me as a person who was there through all of that, where the fuck is the recognition for the people who slept sleepless nights? Where's the recognition for the people who put their money behind it, who put their heart and soul behind it? Where the fuck was that recognition for me? It was too many fucking lies being told. Too many. It was way too many. So I want to know, when were you ever going to stand up and say, okay, we not going to do this, or let me correct this shit?
Okay, so Kita, you're talking from I'm going to say this, you're talking from an emotional standpoint.
I'm not talking
No. I let you talk. I let you get it all out and what you're saying. I said, yes, you are talking from an emotional standpoint because you're upset by this. First and foremost, I can never X out anybody who was there before me. When I met Nip in New York at Johnny Shipe's apartment. I did an interview with him. He was on tour. That was the first time I met Nipsey. Then when I went to LA, the first thing I did, instead of doing a regular tour, and I talk about this all the time, I went by his store. Me and him had a combo. At the time when I worked at Beats by Dre, he was working with, I forget the DJ's name. I forget the DJ's name. Tall, white, from LA. They got the building and Nipsey got a mule in front of it.
Yeah.
I forget his name. So at the time, MTV was trying to do a show with me on Cars. Nipsey was supposed to pull up. Whatever happened, it didn't happen with him. Nipsey came by the office. Me and him, I did my civil TV with him and everything else. Nipsey came by the office one day. I said, yo, me and my business partner, Steve, want to speak to you. He said, all right, cool. He pulled up to the office. I said, yo, you're telling me you don't have management, different things. Me and Steve want to work with you. Nipsey had relationships with you, with Big U. He had relationships with so many different people. I didn't X anybody out. That's not for me to do. Nipsey has relationships with everybody. And let's bring it back to the funeral. When Nipsey died, I stopped working with Nipsey. God rest his dead. I stopped working with Nipsey in 2018. In 2018, before he went to Rock Nation. So Mac died. I was going through my own emotional trauma and time, and falling back from a lot of things. And Rock Nation was handling his business. But then when he passed, I was there at the hospital and everything with everybody else, because that day I happened to be on Crenshaw because Slutty Vegan was having an event there. And then it was the same time the situation happened with Nipsey, and we all went to the hospital. Let me just finish. We all went to the hospital. Sam reached out to me and said, yo, we're going to have his funeral at Los Angeles Funeral Home. I said, Sam, it's too many people who want to come. He was like, well, this is what they're thinking. I said, it's too many people who want to come. We got to figure out something bigger. So my role in it, I never cut a person out in the funeral. I cannot do that. That is not for me to do, because you know why? There's so many people that Nipsey touched and had love for. So when it was time for even tickets and everything else, I don't have a say where people sit, who came, who did whatever else. I understand your feelings. Wait, Kita, let me finish. Between Hank, who is his manager, between Hank and Khadijah Malika and myself, we helped organize and we helped put the whole thing together. When it was time, there were people who were like, who hit me and said, yo, you know, y'all really can't do this online ticket thing because people in the hood, the Wi-Fi, everybody ain't got Wi-Fi, whatever the case may be. I gave a box of the tickets to his family. I said, so y'all can make sure whoever gets it that needs to be there, because there's so many people who are part of his life. That wasn't my decision to make. What I had to worry about was getting the money to pay for certain things, to make sure certain things were handled. I never sit in this direction and say, Karen. I know you was before him. I've never met you. I don't know him personally to say whatever the case may be. Him and Nip had a relationship just like Nip had a relationship with a lot of other people. But for that situation, that was one of the hardest situations I had to deal with, because I was already mourning a friend and I couldn't mourn Nipsey the correct way. I said, at this point, I'm going to make sure I hold this man down as much as possible. I didn't control tickets. When it came to people in the community, who I made sure, I said the Ethiopian, I said save this side for people who's coming from Eritrea, from DC, which was on the side of the stage. Rock Nation had a list of their talent and everything else. I said make sure his family and friends are sitting in the front, but it was a collective. When it comes to street politics, I don't involve myself in that. That's something that you speak to his close core about and everything else. So I'm sorry you feel. Wait. No. Wait. Let me listen.
It was management, and you're standing on this stage naming somebody named fucking Hank. You act like Unique Music wasn't involved.
No, listen. Let me finish.
He still signed to Unique Music.
No, well, I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm telling you, referencing my point. So Hank, from 2000 to when we stopped working together, the last thing I did with Nipsey was the Jordan commercial. And that was from there, and that was 2018, that launched on Christmas. After that, he was with Rock Nation. That's in the space he's in. I can't cancel somebody out if I don't know the legal paperwork and everything else. Then we have Marathon Agency. I'm sorry that you felt as though, because there was a lot of people who hit me with that, who was just like, yo, it's just like I have all this love. There was so many people who wanted to show him love. That wasn't something that I think
to make a public apology to us, to those of us that broke our motherfucking back for Nip.
But did you ever make a public apology to Unique Music? I didn't know.
Did you ever make a public apology?
This is my first time, Peter.
You didn't do.
What did I take credit for? What did I take credit for? What did I take credit for that started before Marathon? I didn't take anything to do. Proud to Pay. Proud to Pay was the first thing I worked on with Nipsey. Proud to Pay was the first thing we worked on.
You said you took part in the $100 CD and the $1,000.
Yeah,
you was his manager. You got Obama. You got Jay-Z. You got Beyonce. Nip did that shit on his own. The nigga was a fucking genius. He was a pure fucking genius. And you took credit for shit you did not do. And I'm telling you, as a friend, as a person who loves Nip to death, as a person who worked beside Big U as his assistant for 17 years, them two motherfuckers broke their back to make Nip what the fuck he is today in debt. And you took credit for shit you didn't do. I think anybody on the stage can vouch that you took credit for shit that you didn't fucking do. So what I'm asking you for right now, Karen, it ain't nothing against you as a person. It's against your work ethic. I'm waiting for a fucking apology. Because I spent sleepless nights with my children in the fucking studio, helping that brand, helping that company, and you didn't do a damn thing during that time.
You can, Kita, you can say that we can have an offline.
I'm not. You is an apology. That's
No,
all
I'm not. I'm sorry. I
Kita,
can't do that. No, because she's yelling over me.
I know,
I'm sorry.
Kita, you
Nah,
gonna
we
get
can't
away
do
from
that.
what this room
Nah,
about.
you can't. Yeah, you're taking away from it because this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I didn't know the name of Big U's music.
Several people. You said
No, not your story, but yo, people from the neighborhood who talk. Cause you let me talk. I let you get what you had to say out, and I don't want to keep making this whole thing about Nipsey. I want to move past this, but I want to respect and honor how you feel. I was not aware of what you felt. I don't know any of this. I started working with Nipsey when it came to his the $100 mixtape, and when he was ready to put that out and everything else. Yes, that's when I started working with him. And when it comes to the Barack thing, yes, Marcus, who worked with him, got me that letter to read on stage. I don't know about this Beyonce, Jay-Z thing. I never took credit for that. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but the work I did for him, I'm proud of that. I'm happy for that. I never said I was with him at the beginning. I know there was Johnny Shipes, there was you, there was Big U, and there was another gentleman his name is escaping me right now, light-skinned, bald head. His name is escaping me right now.
Steve Lobel.
Excuse me, Steve Lobel. Steve Lobel was there.
Is she still there or did her phone?
Her phone went out, but she's still here.
All right. So while she's not talking, Casey, are you back?
Reset.
All right. So now,
Kita, let her move on.
I'm going to allow her to move on. You're absolute fact, so she can touch on the Jesse.
I mean, here go the thing, Kita. It was a
all
bitch.
I'm
She wasn't
asking
around.
for
Kita,
is
she
you
wasn't
need
there.
to apologize to the Crenshaw district for how the fuck you treated us. That's
Nah,
all I'm
Kita.
asking.
Kita, let her
That's
move
all
on.
I'm asking. Apologize to the Crenshaw
Kita,
district
let her move
on how you
on.
treated us.
Kita, can you let her move on? Let her move on.
Kita, calm down, Kita. Calm down.
Kita, let her move on. She wasn't there. We know she wasn't there. Shit, I know. Motherfucker, I was there. Shit.
Hey,
let her move on.
Whack,
Let
look,
her move on.
hey, Karen.
Yeah, let her say her piece. Let her say her piece.
I'm just trying to get everybody quiet right now, man. Like,
Reset.
too talk.
Once she say her piece, it ain't no issue. I'm waiting for the apology on how you treat the people in
That's
the
not
community.
what the room is about, though.
Right now.
Yes, the fuck it is, because I made the room.
I know,
Okay,
but
hold on.
you just had the
Kita,
other
calm
young lady.
down.
Hold on, Kita.
Let her address the other lady.
Reset. Let them reset.
Yeah, let me
Let her
reset. Let me
But you're
reset.
gonna give me my apology.
Let me reset, Kita. Hold up, y'all.
Let me talk to you offline on that.
Yeah, hold up. We're gonna reset right quick. I want to thank everybody for joining the Crenshaw District. You feel me?